The 7th episode of The Last of Us is out. Ellie's story takes center stage and we find out her entire backstory. How did she come to be cared for by the Fireflies? How was she bitten? And who exactly is Riley and why is she important? Also, what's the whole controversy with this episode? I'll be going over all this and more in this 7th episode review. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I hope you enjoy the video. The 7th episode of The Last of Us was a faithful retelling of the first game's DLC, called Left Behind. Set weeks before Joel and Ellie met, it's an episode filled with the rare joy of seeing the life of a semi-normal teenager. Ellie is shown dreams come to reality, with bedroom walls filled with posters, arcades of old, and rare first moments. This is still The Last of Us, however. It's a show where the good times are never destined to last for long. Episode 7 sees the events of the game's DLC, Left Behind, seamlessly interwoven into the main story. It's all the better for it as well, with this glimpse into Ellie's past perfectly placed to give us a deeper understanding of her at this stage of the story. For the most part, this plays as a slightly happy memory as Ellie and her longtime friend Riley, played by Storm Reed, get up to all the typical teenage activities of sneaking alcohol, jumping over rooftops, and laughing at corpses falling through floors. Oh, to be young again. You can see in Ellie's eyes how magical the illumination of the mall is. The suddenly color-drenched screen conjures up childlike dream imagery through the eyes of a bedazzled child. Multiple scenes are taken wholesale from the game, from the carousel ride, to the photo booth, to Halloween mask dances, each joyously recreated frame for frame, shot for shot. Bella Ramsey shares much greater chemistry with Storm Reed than with Pedro Pascal, as Riley's organized fun comes into harmony with Ellie's desire to dart towards the next shiny thing. It's a refreshing lift in tone for a show that spends most of its runtime submerged in the despair this post-pandemic world relentlessly hits viewers over the head with. That chemistry with Riley is the base for a splendid portrayal of a young person's sexual awakening and a real showcase for Ramsey's talent as a performer, impressively showing off more emotional range in this episode than in the rest of the series. Many people liken this episode to the third episode, which showed Bill and Frank's story, albeit not as exciting in my opinion. This episode is slow and feels out of touch with the rest of the series. I guess now is as good a time as any to throw this in, despite some people's protests. It's the calm before the storm. As players of the game know, the last 2 episodes are going to be filled with nearly non-stop action. The end of the episode shows the sad fate of these 2 teenagers, although leaves the rest ambiguous, such as how Ellie met up with the Fireflies. This short explosion of action seals their fate. The tense encounter with the infected runner is fittingly scrappy, and the girls' fighting styles are as makeshift as you'd expect from 2 teenagers with very limited combat experience. Despite winning the battle, they lose the war, each revealing each other's bites to one another shyly, contrasting to only moments before when they revealed their true feelings. Ellie's burst of rage is an impressive outpouring from Ramsey as she shatters every glass surface in sight, a promising sign that she'll successfully develop into the vengeance-fueled Ellie we saw in the second game. Music is used brilliantly throughout the episode, with several clever popular music picks featured, making this mall date episode tug at the nostalgic heartstrings of the audience. Taking cues from Bill's coded radio signal, 2 80s songs are wonderfully used to signal imminent danger. Take On Me holds special significance to those familiar with the games, while The Cure's Just Like Heaven is a fun nod to Ellie, herself a form of a cure, metaphorically speaking, experiencing a moment of heaven amongst the hell of it all. The loss of Riley is where we come to truly see how similar both Joel and Ellie's journeys are, both spurred on by past losses to keep from losing one another. Back in the present, by caring for Joel, Ellie is not only suturing a physical wound, but aiming to heal past pains as well. It's yet another moment of great strengthening for their bond, as they realize life without each other becomes truly unimaginable. No, this isn't a filler episode, as some are claiming, but one delicately packed full of crucial background information that makes Ellie a whole character. This is an example of a good character development that other shows can learn from. Overall, Episode 7 of The Last of Us is a masterfully faithful adaptation of the Left Behind chapter of Ellie's story. The episode was a real showcase of Bella Ramsey's acting ability, which had been lacking up to this point in the series. We're treated to a classic teenage date, which we haven't seen in film or television in quite some time. Seriously, whatever happened to the teen rom-com? This episode is a necessary addition to the story, as we learn more about the background of one of the title characters. Excellent character development shored up a part of the show that had been lacking, but it is the calm before the storm. The last 2 episodes promise to be absolute bangers that I simply can't wait for. If you've stuck around this long, I do have a huge favor to ask. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and subscribe. If you didn't, do tell me your opinion down in the comments. I want to hear from all of you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.